What's going on, YouTube? Josh from the lab here, and CBSNews.com is reporting that a neighbor of Bryan Kohberger in Pullman, Washington, said the suspect in the murder of the four University Idaho students spoke to him about the killings the day after they occurred. He brought it up in conversation. The neighbor exclusively told CBS News on Wednesday. He asked if I had heard about the murders, which I did. And then he said, yeah, seems like they have no leads. Seems like it was a crime of passion. Quote, at the time of our conversation, it was only a few days after it happened, so there wasn't much details out. Now, it's interesting when you think about murder suspects and you know, things like that. And I believe CBS probably has vetted this source, and it probably is true that he did say this. But it was kind of the talk of the town, so I don't think it would be anything out of, well, talk of the town. It was kind of the talk of the country, so I don't think it was anything out of the ordinary, especially for somebody who was studying criminal justice and had a master's in criminology. Kohberger, I believe, is probably a lot sicker than we're giving him credit for. And I found that fascinating. You know, and there's all these anonymous sources, and I don't know, you know, nobody's really putting their name on this stuff, but on the Daily Mail is reporting that the Idaho murder suspect, Bryan Kohberger, told the cops during time locked up in Pennsylvania the killings were really sad and that he seemed really nervous, which makes sense. I mean, anybody being extradited across country for a murder charge, quadruple murder charge, guilty or not, is going to be nervous. So that doesn't surprise me at all. It says the source added he was narrating to himself everything that was happening. At one point, he was saying something to himself like, I'm fine. This is okay. Like he was reassuring himself that this whole thing wasn't awful. And at one point, Kohberger even offhandedly said, it's really sad what happened to them, the source told People magazine. Now, once again, these are unnamed sources, and we have to take this kind of stuff with a grain of salt. But these don't really seem outlandish and crazy when they were saying that he was making weird, or that he was flashing, you know, guards or whatever they said at the beginning. With that one lady said she was in the jail with him, and she just made up a whole bunch of stuff, which is really normal for these cases. And like in every investigation, murder case, intake, you know, everybody is given a doctor's appointment, and Bryan Kohberger is no different. According to the Daily Mail, Idaho murder suspect Bryan Kohberger attended routine medical appointments in the days after the killing, where he was, quote unquote, very chatty and, quote, charmed staff. Now, once again, these are unnamed sources, but none of that would surprise me. You kind of see his demeanor as this meek young man, polite. You know, he comes off smart. But once again, I just truly do feel that he's a lot sicker than we think. So it says a receptionist at the doctor's office who asked for anonymity because she'd probably get fired or she's lying, one or the other, said that the murder suspect was so friendly, her boss took notice. She said, he's so nice and charming. She never says that about anybody. The receptionist said, I was like, yeah, he really was. I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me. But, you know, I'm not buying it. I think, like I said, I think this man is much sicker than we're giving him credit for. It's all a game. It's all an act. It's all a fantasy. This is his Mona Lisa, if you will, his chance to prove to the world that he is smarter than everybody. And I do not believe it's going to work. Thank you for listening.